Happy Sunday, Fan Clan. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Phantom. Just a couple of quick things before we jump into today's video. We do have a restock on CrosioShop.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. But Terrestrial Festival booster boxes are back in stock. We kept them at $74.99. I do know there is a restock coming. It's kind of already like started a little bit. Prices are already starting to drop in Japan, and because of that, the market price is coming down. I think this is still very competitive and ultimately cheaper than what I could find out there, but there might be better deals out there. So I want to throw that caveat out there. If you are looking for Terrestrial Festival boxes, you might want to be patient. However, I don't know enough about the Japanese market to know if this reprint, it doesn't look like it's going to be super large. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to bring the price down a ton. So I still think this is going to be a good price right here. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not an expert when it comes to Japanese booster boxes, so it might not be. Like, you can correct me in the comment section down below if I am incorrect. But if you're looking for a decent price, I think this is a very fair price right now. So you can head over to CrosioShop.com and pick up your booster box of Terrestrial Festival. I do believe there will be more coming, but we'll have a video like this week, probably after Christmas, about the Prismatic Evolution supply issue. It's really an issue because there's just too much demand. That's really what it all boils down to. Don't let anybody tell you that, like, oh, they're not printing any of this set. It's super short printed, and while it might be, I don't know the exact numbers, it might be less printed than Shining Fates. I'm sure it is, but I think demand is just, it's insane for Prismatic Evolution. So a lot of people are loading up on Terrestrial Festival booster boxes, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Also, I wanted to remind you guys, tonight is the night where we are going to be opening up and giving away. So we're going to be giving away and opening up 151 booster box of Scarlet, 151 booster packs. Can you imagine booster boxes? That would be insane, especially because booster boxes don't even exist for this set. 151 packs of Scarlet and Violet 151. So I'll probably do it in like groups of 6, and then one person who has a group of 7. And then we're also giving away, we've got the trio. I've got the Charizard. It's actually just in another room. So of Gem Mint, the final evolutions of the starters. So we've got the Venusaur EX, Blastoise EX, and the Charizard EX as well, all in Gem Mint 10 copies. We're going to be giving all this away tonight on Drip. So I'll leave a link for that in the description below too. That's going to start at 8 p.m. Central Time. It'll be late night fanny mode. It'll be a lot of fun. You have to be on Drip in order to win. So you can watch on YouTube. It'll be simulcasted on YouTube, but and you can chat it up, you can talk, you can have fun, enjoy the opening. But unfortunately, you won't be able to win unless you're on Drip. Drip is completely free to join. I think you do need to put in your credit card information though, in case you want to make a future purchase. So just I wanted to throw that out there as well. Obviously, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do that. But it is completely free. Drip, huge shout out to them. They're going to cover the shipping and everything as well. So it'll be just a lot of fun as we head into these last few days before the holidays. So with that being said, we're going to talk about Blooming Waters. I finally got allocation numbers in for Blooming Waters. And I think it's going to be a very interesting set for a variety of different reasons. Not a set, but a release, a product release. So I'm going to flip you guys around so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. And I wanted to compare it to something. I don't know why I always like comparing stuff. But this is the Kanto Power Boxes. Do you remember when these came out? So Evolutions, we talked about Evolutions in the video that we put out a couple days ago. Now that Evolving Skies booster boxes have passed up Evolutions, it's all very interesting to watch the market and the hype as a lot of Pokemon card collectors return, or money heads come into the hobby, or whatever you want to say. There is just no denying the fact that Pokemon is at a point right now in popularity that it hasn't been at for probably a couple of years. And Kanto Power Boxes, these were a very interesting product. I remember when my distributor called me and let me know that these were coming out, and I was like, holy buckets, what? Evolutions at the time was 4-year-old. So Evolutions came out on November 2nd, 2016. That is the release day of XY Evolutions. The Kanto Power Boxes came out October 30th, 2020. So this was after the hype of Champions Path brought a lot of people into the hobby, and the hype of Darkness Ablaze with the Charizard VMAX, and the Chonkachu was just about to come out with the Vivid Voltage set. Like, there was a lot of people getting involved in Pokemon. All of a sudden, Evolutions, for some reason, started getting a lot of buzz because it was a nice throwback to the base set, to the nostalgia. A lot of people wanted cheaper access to pulling the original base artworks. At the time, booster boxes for the base set were even higher higher than what they are right now. Booster packs were insane. Like, it was just really expensive to try and open up and relive that childhood memory that you might have had, especially because a lot of people wanted to do that with their kids. So Evolutions offered an additional opportunity to do that, but Evolutions was just so widely printed. It was right after Pokemon Go came out. It was heading into the next generation, which was Sun and Moon at the time, and there was a lot of interest in Pokemon when Evolutions came out, but Evolutions was not like the best set. Like, it was a decent collector set, but it wasn't great from the competitive standpoint of things, so it didn't do super well. And then as hype started to kind of dissipate when it came to Pokemon, especially in the competitive side, the Pokemon had just a ton of leftover Evolutions products, a ton of booster packs all over the place. So I think this was like a recycled, hey, we've got a ton of booster packs of Evolutions, let's just throw them in this box right here, and hopefully they sell. And they ended up selling. It was very low printed as far as allocation numbers go, and there was a lot of people who bots. Like, this was the first time when bots became a huge issue. So here's what you got inside it. Two Pokemon EX. So one of the boxes had Mewtwo EX and Slowbro EX. The other one had Pidgeot EX and Dragonite EX. You had the jumbo cards. You had 10 Evolutions booster packs, which brought a lot of excitement to the game. And then the code card and the all those normal ancillary things from a collection box. So here's Blooming Waters. So this is a new product that is just coming out now. So the release date on this one is February 7th, 2025. So we're still a couple months away from that. We are not, if you're watching this video because you're like, hey, Fanny's going to drop I'm not dropping pre-orders for this. We're not going to worry about any pre-orders until the new year. Enjoy your holiday. If you're still waiting on Prismatic Evolutions or Blooming Waters after January, we'll worry about it then. But enjoy the next week. Don't stress out. I appreciate you watching my videos, but you don't need to glue to them just in the hopes that a pre-order might drop. But Blooming Waters, February 7th, this is a recently announced product, 2 years and 4 months after the release of Scarlet and Violet 151. Why that's important is because your reprint window on a typical product is about a year and a half. So we are at the point right now where Paradox Rift is just over a year old. Obsidian Flame's kind of starting to enter into that when it's a year and a few months old, a year and 4 months old. It's getting to the point right now where Obsidian Flames and Paradox Rift, having a reprint of that it seems unlikely. It could be possible, especially booster boxes. They might come out with a bunch of waves of just a giant reprint of everything from Obsidian Flames on. They did that obviously with the Sword and Shield block, where they pumped a lot more booster boxes into the market. So it's definitely possible that everything from Obsidian Flames on. We just had a large reprint a few months ago, 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, of Paldea Evolved. And that was, the market price was still higher from distribution, but it did put more booster boxes into the market. So it is possible. Paradox Rift also has had multiple waves of it, so maybe they would not do that one, but could be more product coming out here. But Scarlet and Violet 151 at the time of this releases will be 2 years and 4 months old, which is a fairly lengthy time. So not as bad as the Kanto Power Boxes, which came out 4 years after release, but 2 years and 4 months is still fairly large. So here's what you get inside. You get that Jumbo Blastoise. Every box is going to have a Blastoise. There is no Jumbo Venusaur. And then you get a copy of the Blastoise EX and the Venusaur EX, plus a Bulbasaur and Squirtle. I believe those are holographic cards, holographic promos that will be included in there. And then there's 12 booster packs of Scarlet and Violet 151, as opposed to the 10 that we saw with the Kanto Power Boxes. You get a code card. The MSRP on this one is $59.99. So that's your target price point, right? $59.99. Some people are like, that's a little bit more expensive. It's not too bad. It breaks down to about $5 per booster pack, which is very normal when it comes to these types of products. Obviously, your booster bundle is going to be your best bet when it comes to pretty much any new specialty set that comes out, because that brings that pack price down to about $4.50. But other than that, even if you look at like Elite Trainer boxes, on average, typically $5 is pretty much the booster pack price you are going to find. However, it does look, this is just a snip for Costco. It looks like Costco is going to carry this product, Blooming Waters. This is a placeholder right now on the Costco website. This is why it's so important. Like, you at least want to follow some of these drops on Twitter or Discord that gives you drop alerts. I don't recommend botting. That is not something I think you should do. But there are people out there who do it. They get in-stock notifications and they buy out product right away. If you're following some of these Twitter or these X handles that at least give you some information about this product, like here's a placeholder, it kind of at least evens the playing field a little bit for you. At least have this open or bookmarked or something, so you know when it goes in stock, you're like, okay, well, I can at least try and click fast enough to be able to get 1 or 2 copies, 1 or 2 boxes of it. I do believe this will be released in stores as well at Costco. You can see the price tag on it, $44.99. So Costco, obviously a discount warehouse, they're going to have a discounted product. This is cheap. This is a really, really good deal, much like what we saw with the Crown Crown Zenith product for that Sea and Sky collection box, which came out at Sam's Club for Crown Zenith. This is a really, really good deal. Obviously about $15 below MSRP. I believe it will be online. I believe it will be in store. I believe it will be scalped. I believe it will be bought up. I believe there will be fights and arguments and people buying it by the pallet. It's going to be really annoying and really frustrating, but at least you know about it. At least you have the information about it, so that levels the playing field a little bit. So maybe check in, like we know when it releases. I would be surprised if Costco had it on release day, but obviously you might want to ask around and just figure out, put yourself in the best position to get yourself a box, or if you have a few kids, like get a few boxes for your kids, so you can enjoy a little bit of Scarlet and Violet 151 in case this is the last chance at getting it at retail stores. I do believe, and you might see more ETBs pop up now. Obviously, Evolution still popped up occasionally, but it was very, very difficult to find. So allocation numbers for Blooming Waters, not bad, not nearly as good as what I think any store would want, because the demand is just so high right now that it's going to be impossible to hit that supply mark that is needed. But when we got allocations for the Kanto power boxes, it was heavily allocated, and we got just over 100 units of those Kanto power boxes. We didn't have a whole lot. We were ordering a lot of product at the time. We got very strong allocations. We've always gotten very strong allocations because of our spend and because of our history and because of how long we've been in business, which is very, very nice. We're very blessed, but that's also why we keep everything at MSRP and don't sell any higher than that, because we have been very, very lucky and blessed. We didn't get that much of these. We only got just over 100 units, very, very low quantity, and it got bought out really, really fast, to the point where we had to cancel orders. We had to redesign exactly how we approached everything when it came to selling products, because it was just very, very difficult to get these products in the hands of the consumers who wanted them, the consumers who wanted to open them, have fun with them, enjoy them, and not the people who just wanted to resell it, not the people who just wanted to flip it quickly on Facebook Marketplace and get, $30, $40, something like that. The Blooming Waters collection box allocation numbers, not great, but still over 3 times the allocation of Kanto power boxes. So 2 things worth noting here. Now, while the Kanto power boxes were heavily allocated, we are at a situation here where Pokemon pays a lot more attention to big box retail stores. They provide big box retail stores with a lot more product than they used to, not just on their online distribution side, but also the marketing companies that stock these retail companies. They also get a lot more of an allocation as well. So there will probably be a fair amount that gets put out in the wild. It's also worth noting that the demand is so high and so heavy that means absolutely nothing. There is going to be so many people out there trying to get the Blooming Waters collection box that even if there is, let's say, 10 times the amount of Blooming Waters that hit Costco than what hit with the Kanto power boxes or hit big box retail, it's still not going to be enough because the demand is so high. Also, if it is limited to only Costco, they don't carry the Blooming Waters collection, let's say at Walmart. I don't know yet. Like, obviously they could. At Walmart, at Target, at other places, it could be very difficult to get your hands on. That's why it's so important to kind of pay attention. Now, obviously this doesn't release until February, but the demand is going to be very high. The one good thing is that there's going to be a lot of attention that's paid to other areas. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be looking for Prismatic Evolutions. They're going to be looking for Journey Together because that's going to come out the following month. So there's going to be Battle Partners, which is the next Japanese set that features cards from our future set of Journey Together, the owner Pokemon, like that Ends Reshiram, obviously the Iono Belly Bolt, like that. Those look really, really cool. Maybe attention paid to that, which should help stifle a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. So just you want to make sure you pay attention. Also, Blooming Waters, you should get a little bit more out of your local game store. There are a lot more accounts out there right now, which is also worth noting, because a lot more accounts means that there's going to be less supply for each account, because a lot of distribution likes to make sure that they feed every single store. It might be just a real little bit, so your local game store might not have ordered a ton of Pokemon in the past, or maybe they took a break from ordering Pokemon over the last year and a half because demand has been down so heavily, but they still should get some. It might only be a case. It might just be a case of 6, so you may want to follow up with them and see what their allocation numbers look like. But $59.99, obviously the target price. Here's the Kanto power boxes. As far as the chart goes on TCG Player, you can see the Dragonite one has fallen quite a bit, but it was also priced a lot higher
than what we saw with the Mewtwo and the Slowbro one. They're pretty even as far as price point goes right now, with the Mewtwo one being there at $210.76 and the Dragonite one being at $208.18. Not a whole lot of supply. Again, this is another product where a lot of people have already opened up Evolution, so they already have copies of the singles that are inside, and these are bulky, these are bigger, so they're a lot more difficult to store, and since they already have the singles, these are basically worth the packs that are inside. So you get 10 of them. Evolution's packs sell for like $22, $23, so basically a box is worth what the packs inside are worth. So 10 packs basically for $208 or $210. So not a whole lot of movement, not the most liquid product in the world. Blooming Waters should be a little bit different, at least for some time. It's also, you got to remember, this came out 4 years ago now, a little bit over that. So sales on this are going to dissipate a lot and diminish a lot. Now, obviously, Blooming Waters, it's going to be a liquid item for quite some time, especially until we hit like that 4-year window. So 151 in general has made a lot of noise, and this is why the hype continues to climb, as a lot more people come back into the hobby. They see what's happened with 151 and they see opportunity. And that's why you get in these situations right now where a lot of stuff does get scalped and you have to deal with that. But the opportunity is there for a lot of people to make a quick dollar. And that usually when people see that opportunity, they take it. Like they go after it. But here's the 151 Ultra Premium Collection. A year ago, this was a $98 product. This was selling for $22 below MSRP. Obviously, over the past several months, it has continued to climb like crazy. And even at the price points above MSRP, you can see demand and supply like just going through the roof. So demand for this product, more sales volume on a weekly basis on TCG Player, despite the fact that its price point is significantly higher than what it was before. So 144% growth over the past year, but a lot of sales volume over the past 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, since September. You see the sales volume really start increasing a lot more than what it was at the beginning of the year when it was significantly cheaper. So it was hovering around MSRP from January all the way up until like August, June, July, and we were getting 60 to 80 a week in sales as far as the sales volume goes. But now that it's shot up over MSRP, now you're getting 100, 120, 140 sales on a weekly basis, and because of that, it's jumped up to 239.35. It's just off of its 1 year high of 247.45 and continuing to climb. Here's the Elite Trainer box right here. This is not the Pokemon Center exclusive. It's just a normal one. It's up to 127.65. It's gained about 174% over the past year. Again, same thing. A lot more sales volume, despite the fact that the price has gone up a lot. So it was at $46.59 a year ago, currently at $127.65, so up 174%, and the demand continues to be there. Same thing with the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box. Demand not there as much, right? You see, you have a little bit of blips as far as abnormal sales volume goes, but for the most part, fairly consistent between 15 and 20 a week, which is a little bit higher than what it was when it was selling for $120 a box. Now it's selling for $271 per box, which is insane, up about 188% on the year. Obviously, the difference with this one is that stamp on the promo card. You get an extra pack as well, but this one continues to climb. The idea of exclusivity makes it just keep going up. Here's the booster bundle right here. These still come in stock. This was on pokemoncenter.com, I think like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and people said it was up for like 10 minutes and that people were able to get, I think it was pokemoncenter.com. It might have been another website. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. But 5306 is where it's currently sitting. It did come down a little bit because of that. A lot of people were able to get their hands on Scarlet and Violet 151 booster bundles, and then they moved them on the secondary market, obviously bringing the price down as more supply kind of hit the market. It did jump up to $63.97. It's still up about 39% on the year. Obviously, you only get 6 packs inside, and there's nothing else. So nothing else special really about this, except for the fact that it comes with 6 packs. So 6 times 8 is 48, plus the additional $5. Call it like $8.50 per pack, which is probably close to the current pack price of Scarlet and Violet 151. The binder collection has shot up like crazy. Obviously, there's going to be a binder collection of Prismatic Evolutions. This was relatively flat from December of 2023 up until September of 2024. Hit that 1 year low in December last year of 36.51, and then it just skyrocketed. We did see a little blip where it came down and then just went right back up. It's up 115% on the year, sitting at 79.30. Here's the Alakazam EX box. There was a Zapdos EX box as well. This one jumped up to 48.62 in September. It did come down a little bit. This was another product that Costco, I believe, had offered. They bundled it with that Zapdos EX collection box. It's up about 37% on the year and continuing to climb. Here is the Scarlet and Violet 151 booster pack. A little bit more expensive per pack than that booster bundle that we were talking about earlier. It's up about 49.5% right now, basically sitting at an all-time high. It's just continuing to climb. So 894, it's up 49.5% in January of 2024. So you rewind time a year, and it was hovering right around $5.57, $5.67, and just continuing to climb ever since then. So Scarlet and Violet 151, the Blooming Waters is important to a lot of people because it might be the last opportunity. It'll be 2.5 years old. It still wouldn't surprise me if they did do another wave of Elite Trainer boxes. We didn't get a whole lot of them, and we saw Hidden Fates reprint Elite Trainer boxes very late in the game. So I'm not going to say that it's done and over with, but it is something that you want to make sure you are aware of the information. That way you have the best knowledge to make the best decision for your collection budget. Obviously, if this is like, I want the Blooming Waters collection, but don't pay more than $60. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Fine. There's a lot of other cool sets. Maybe that's the mentality you have to approach, but just be careful out there. Obviously, if it is at Costco, don't fight over Pokemon. Like, it's not worth it. But I just wanted to put that information out there so you have it. So I hope you enjoy. If you did, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a long way for the algorithm. Ultimately, thank you just for being here. Thanks for the support. You guys are amazing. I hope to see you tonight on Drip. Thanks for everything. I love you guys. I'll talk to you again on Tuesday. Until next time, peace.